It's a long time, okay? And this is one of the years that I was like, I'm gonna be sober, okay? And I had a boyfriend at the time, and we go in, to the porta potties, because that's like where you start tripping, right? Not really, I was sober that year. So anyway, I see a backpack in the porta potty, and I'm like, oh shit, someone forgot their backpack. So I go out of it, I was like, hey, someone's backpack, I'm holding it up in there. Whose backpack is this? I found your backpack. And I'm like, there's a walkie-talkie on it. So I pick up the walkie-talkie and I'm like, hey, breaker, I'm at 2 o'clock in Esplanade, and I found your bag in the porta potty. And I hear, James, bless you. And I hear, James, is that you? I was like, no, bro. I found your friend James's backpack in the porta potty. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, meet you at 2 o'clock in Esplanade. And so I'm waiting there. No one comes. And, at this point, I was like, okay, well, how long am I going to sit here? We're at Burning Man. And so I was like, should I turn it into the porta potty? I was like, you know what, I'll throw it in my car, because we were going to go and do a performance. And so I was like, I'll throw it in my car. And then I completely forgot about it until the next day. And I'm getting in my car, and I was like, that motherfucker. My boyfriend brought weed, because my car reeks like weed now, and I come down, and I was like, dude, you told me you were gonna be sober, and I can smell the weed, okay? I can smell it. He's like, no, I didn't. And I was like, I can smell it. So we open up the car, and just like weed smell comes out, and he goes, what's in the bag? And I was like, I don't know, I didn't even look. So now I'm like, okay, now I gotta open this up, and it was basically like God testing me if I was gonna be sober or not. There was probably 60 ecstasy pills, there was a couple bags of cocaine. It was like a drug dealer got scared and threw it in there and fucking took off. So anyway, so we're testing the drugs just to see what is in their safety, yeah. And I have done that before. I'm like, hey, I found a bag of drugs. This is at other festivals. This is not this bag of drug. And I've had friends be like, yeah, let's do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Tell me what it is. So anyway, so I saved this special bag of white powder. I was like, okay, well, I'm still not gonna do drugs at Burning Man, because I said I was gonna be sober. So I waited till we get home, and by the way, this person never showed up to get their backpack, and I kept talking on the walkie-talkie to try and connect them, and then I figured that they probably were paranoid that I was a cop trying to bust them and be like, yeah, come get your bag of drugs. I got it nice and safe and sound for you. So I figured it was basically my bag of drugs. There was a pound of really beautiful, like, hydroponic chronic weed. There was just a plethora of things, and a bunch of other things that we didn't really know that I kind of passed around to people, and apparently they had a really great time. And so I saved this little bag. I was like, okay, well, this is probably cocaine. So I saved this. This was probably like 15, maybe 17 years ago. And so I get home, Burning Man's done, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to this thing called Sunday Church in Los Angeles, where it's like a pool party, but like a crazy dance party. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring out the baggie. Yeah. So I'm like, I dip my finger in there, I'm like, it's kind of nummy. It's a little zingy. I was like, it's probably cocaine, right? Yeah. So I lay down the cocaine, chop the fattest line, and I'm running my bathwater, because I'm like, this is how we spend Sunday, right? This is how I go to church, is take a nice hot bath, getting ready to go to this pool party. And so I snort this whole line, and I'm getting in the bath, and I'm just like, oh, this is not cocaine. Whoa, and I was like, okay, I better tell my roommate, because I might have to go to the hospital. And so I go in there, I'm like butt naked, I'm like, hey, yo, I just did some drugs. Oh yeah, what did you do? I don't know. Where'd you get it? On the ground, in the toilet. I found it in the porta potty. And my roommate's like horrified, like, you found this in the porta potty, okay, what was it? I was like, I don't know. And then kind of everything started happening all at once, and all of the conversations in my head needed to have like a psychiatrist to talk to them because I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, okay, I'm really fucking going crazy. And at this point, like, I'm I'd say maybe like 10% there. And I'm like, you have to take me to the hospital. I'm dying. So my friend, or not my friend, but my roommate, I get in the car, and I was like, I gotta go, oh my God, the cops are gonna get me. And so she starts pulling into the thing, and I open the door and throw myself out of the car while it was moving because I didn't understand cars and movement and reality. And so they checked me into the hospital, and at this point they're like, what did you take? And I'm like, I don't know. Where did you find it? In the porta potty. And I'm just like, oh my God, this sounds so bad. And so it turns out it was mescaline, and I don't recommend it. I just thought I'd let you know, don't snort mescaline. It was pretty much a nightmare. And then after I started coming to, I was like, okay, I'm good. And they're like, no, you're staying here. I was like, no, you're gonna have to talk to people. You're gonna have to talk to a police officer. He's coming to find out where'd you get these drugs, all this stuff. And I literally ripped the IV out as soon as they went out and fucking left. I was like, you gotta get me out of here, man. Because then I was feeling good. I was like, yeah, this is starting to get good now. I'm not gonna talk to any cops right now. Hell no. Okay. So yeah. And speaking of drugs, I'm actually alcohol-free for 2023. That's this whole year. Thanks. Thank your mom. Okay. So, yeah, anybody have cool nicknames growing up? Did anybody have a nickname that was like a cool nickname? Oh, cool, one person.
To the rescue.
To the rescue! That totally suits you, actually.
My last name is Radulescu, and they call me To the Rescue.
Oh, Radulescu, translated to the rescue. So I've had some crazy nicknames. I was on this TV show called Flavor of Love. Flavor Flav! And he nicknamed me Wire, which I was really offended. I was like, you couldn't have thought of something more awesome than that? But, you know, he doesn't have very many brain cells, so I can't really blame him. So my family used to call me M&M. Did anybody else get that? M&M for motor mouth? Which was really interesting because I never stopped talking. And it turns out now that all of my family is dead, they're probably rolling around in the grave realizing that I actually tape my mouth shut at night so I could sleep. Anybody else do that? Yeah, you can actually go into a deep REM sleep when your mouth is taped shut. And actually, your mom taught me that. And it worked out great. Yeah, thanks to Lynn. Thank your mom. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, anybody else on any dating apps? Okay, cool. So I used to be on every single dating app when I was living in Los Angeles, and I actually got kicked off of Bumble because I found out that someone was like that, you know, the type of people who they're just talking to for 6 months, and then it turns out that it's not them, it's like some 700-pound man that is not the pictures that he is. And then when I found out that it wasn't him, he reported me, and then I got kicked off of Bumble. But I also did a bunch of TV shows, dating TV shows. It's interesting, it's like a full-time job trying to find a part-time lover. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, you know? So anybody hear of Sex Wars? That was like the MTV show, did that. That was like men against women. Blind Date, that was like one of the worst dates I've ever been to. That was wild. Yeah. Anybody else here ever been arrested? Let's see, keep your hands up.
Attempted.
Wow, that's 12 people. Okay, you're right. Who hasn't been arrested? Let's just put your hand up. I have to put my hand up. 2 people. 3 people. I do have to say that when that police officer came in here, I thought he was looking for me. I was like, I'm like, Sally, I was like, I might have to go. And she's like, what? Why? I was like, and then I pooped my pants.
The best part, after the broken window, they're like, is there anybody we can talk to here? And I'm like, I'll find somebody that'll
Exactly. No one really wants to talk to any of those people. So yeah. So I got myself into a little shit situation. So I pulled a very stupid maneuver that every single person probably here in Sedona has done. Has anybody made a left turn out of Natural Grocers?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I got arrested for that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
and
my
so
God.
still working it out. Hopefully it'll be all settled at some point. So pray for me because that's real.
hilarious.
Dude,
That's
so
definitely weird.
petty.
So, you ever notice how lazy we are as a human species? Dude, we're so lazy that we can't even do this to brush our teeth. We have to get an electric toothbrush to brush our teeth for us because this is too hard. I guess because it's not down here, right? I see what you're saying. It's a little different angle, guys, but it's the same movement, okay? Let's get some, practice in your movements. Quit being lazy, you idiots. So, yeah, coming from Los Angeles, there's some differences here in Sedona, if you haven't noticed that. For instance, Los Angeles was a bunch of professional dancing and dancers and cutthroat environment. And here, it's ecstatic dancing, where people are just like rolling around and knocking their teeth out on other people's elbows because it can get pretty freaky. And so it actually used to freak me out. I was like, no, I don't do that ecstatic dance. And now I love it. It's awesome because I feel like I could just be myself. Yeah, in LA, there's injections of heroin and ketamine. And then here in Sedona, there's injections of glutathione, vitamin B, NAD. I just did NAC. Are you down with me? You know what's up. Yeah, cool. Nice talk. Yeah, so Los Angeles, you have to lock your doors. And even when you do lock your doors, my car was still broken into for a Thomas guide. You guys even know what that is? Am I dating myself? I should be, because I'd be such a good lover. Anyway, so yeah, in Sedona, you don't really have to lock your doors because your shit's still gonna be there. Your wallet could be right there, and you come back next week, and it would just move from there to like right here. Hey, oh, you found your wallet. Yeah, we were gonna call you. But I'm not on any social media, so it's all good. I would say I'm not on face crack. Yeah, so in Los Angeles, there's a shit ton of homeless people. And then here in Sedona, home free. Just home free. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in Los Angeles, you can basically make a living doing anything. And believe me, I've done it all, okay? Pretty crazy jobs. Here, to live in Sedona, you have to either be like a Jeep tour guide, or a psychic, or a healer, right? Or just be home free and rocking it out. Isn't that right? Amen. Amen to you, brother. So, yeah, I guess, yeah. Did anybody have like a subject that they want me to talk about besides your freedom has been taken from you?
Oh, I would like to hear that one.
Yeah, what's really interesting is that, did you know that your parents actually sold you into slavery by getting a birth certificate for you? And when you get a birth certificate, they basically change your birth certificate, create a new one, and turn you into a private corporation with all caps as your name. So it looks like your name, but it's not. And then they trade it on the stock market. And if you guys are interested to see how much money you're actually worth, I have a website that you can go and see how many times your social security number has been traded on the stock market. It's pretty fascinating.
What's the website?
I'll have to give it to you later because I don't have it written in my journal. Just kidding, I do, but I don't have my journal right here. So yeah, so part of those weird jobs that I had, I used to get paid to watch movies. Isn't that cool? You'd go and watch a movie and you'd see what, you'd be like, oh no, they didn't play that commercial. So then you can like get people in trouble. That was really fun. So you get free movies. That was really, really cool. I love how my hand is shaking and I can't read what I wrote. A professional singing telegram. That was really fun. I used to write original songs for the person. I'd get some facts about them, and then I'd be like, I'm singing telegram, happy birthday, wee! Just kidding, no, I didn't really show them my boobs, but I think they wanted me to. I'm pretty sure they did. Phone sex operator. That was interesting. Very interesting. I had to stop because I stopped respecting men. So that was really, really crazy. I was like, okay, I have to stop this. So then, of course, naturally, I got into being a professional tickler. So if anybody here has ever been professionally tickled, it is fun. And it's not sexual, by the way. It's definitely not sexual. But I think my favorite job in the whole entire world is getting paid to be weird. Thank you very much. Love you guys. It's an honor to be here so much. Thank you, Kaz. I love you.